That would be
Good
awesome.
call,
Thank
Kim.
you.
There we go. Yeah, let me see if I can find, because I want to open up. Once a supplier has integrated, we do have like an integration marketing toolkit that I will make sure that you get, Kim, because what the toolkit does is it shows you how to market to your customers that you guys are providing order status information through Sage, because it shows them how they go into the system and what they have to do in order to access the information, which is pretty quick. It's a pretty easy thing for them. And I don't know why I cannot find my...
So it's some type of formal communication, Carmen, that we would pass on? Okay. Because I do know that somebody reached out to me last week about posting it on social media, but I have not seen anything else.
Yes, our actual, yeah, I'm trying to figure out where on earth I put that link. The actual toolkit that I'll send over to you does also have like things already created for you that you can use to post on social media. So we try to make that, you know, as easy as possible for you.
Okay.
Let me see here. I'm trying to find that link real quick. I thought I had it saved in my toolbar. I hate it when I save stuff and then I can't find where I put it. I'll look for it anyway. But yes, it has different things that you can do. It's pretty simple for the distributors to access your order status access their order status once once you guys have connected. So the screen that I am showing right now is one of our tools, which is Sage Online. And just to give you a little bit of background, we currently have about 45,000 distributor users. We have 3 tools, which we call Sage Total Access, that they can access your product information and their order status information. Sage Online, which is our flagship product, this is actually a PC-based application that they download onto their computers. And then we have Sage Web, which is a website that they log into, and Sage Mobile, which is an app that they can put on their iPhones, iPads, Android devices. So I have actually accessed your information here. Under every single supplier, there's actually a tab that says My Supplier Info. And this is unique to each distributor. So the distributor can keep their notes that they want to keep in here for doing business with that supplier. They can set up alerts, so they can set up, if you guys list specials or anything like that, they can be alerted on that. And then right here where it says My Customer Number, they put in their account number that they have with you guys. That's how they're going to access their order status information. And so I went ahead and grabbed one that you guys have that you're pushing so that we can look at it. So when they access the information, now this is already predetermined by your IT team on what they're pushing in here. So on this particular order, you're only pushing that it was completed and what the tracking number is. You can push as much information or as little information as you want to. So you can push every single step of that order. Was received, it went in production, it shipped, and then you have your tracking number. It's kind of like an Amazon experience for the distributors, so they can actually set up alerts. So whenever the status changes, then they're able to see that. Unfortunately, the way this one is done, they really wouldn't get an alert because the only thing that's being provided is that it was completed. Let me see what this one has. Yeah. Now, someone I think had mentioned a dashboard. The nice thing about Do you guys have login credentials for the Sage Supplier Center?
I do.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So when you log into the Sage Supplier Center, there's an area, there's two areas. Order history, that's going to be any of the orders that are sent over to you through the Sage tool. Order tracking is going to be any of the tracking information that you're providing through Sage. So when I click on this, I can go underneath your account. And this is how I got that number to put in, was I just kind of went in here and did a search. It takes a little bit. Now, the thing with the order status, it doesn't contain any proprietary information. So it does not show what was ordered, how much the order was, or any of that. It's strictly the status only. And as I mentioned, that's up to you guys what information that you're providing. So it has all of that listed here. Now, the way those orders get to you through Sage, I'm going to pull up a product here. So let's do some. So if a distributor, let's say, for example, they're looking at this product, they found it when they did their search, they're interested in, you know, ordering this product, they've already talked to their customer. Right here at the bottom is a button that says order forms. So they click on that. And then they can select what form they want to do. So they can, you know, even send over a request for quote. I'm going to do purchase order. And then it comes up for them to fill in the information. So what's their quantity? What do they want to order? Let's say I wanted to order 100. And let's say the color I wanted was burgundy. And I could provide additional information as well. I'm going to go ahead and save that. So they fill all of this information in, who it's to be billed to, who it's to be shipped to. Down here, they can actually attach a link to the artwork for the order. So they can send that. And that comes over to you as a link that you go in and grab. So they can fill in all of this information. And this is basically what that purchase order is going to look like. They do have the ability to kind of like put their own logo and things like that on here. If they had the link to the artwork, it would show up down here at the bottom. Now, Jennifer, are you guys set up to consume the orders, or do you still have to manually enter them in?
Manually enter them right now.
Okay. We do have that possibility that you can download the orders and set it up to where it's automatically consumed on the back end. You can also access these through the Sage Supplier Center as well. So if I go back here and go under order history, it's going to show me all the orders basically for the last month are right here. And it shows if it's a purchase order or if it's a sample. Let me click one of these.
What is the Sage ID number back in that report? It's not the distributor's Sage number, is it?
No, this is actually the ID number for that order.
Yeah, but if you go over, you see the receive date, the Sage ID.
Oh, that's their account number.
That's their account number.
Their Sage number. Yeah, their Sage number.
So Heather, was this the piece that you were looking for?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess my question, Carmen, if we are manually entering the orders at this point, would we need for each of our service individuals to have a login to our Sage account so that they can go back and reference our order number on the purchase order?
Right.
So how does the distributor get information fed back regarding the order? What's the tie if we're receiving a manual PO?
Okay, so it's basically, it's based on your information that you're providing. Let me open that back up here so we can look at the. So it's based on your customer number that you give to all of your customers, the order number, the PO number is how it's linked back up.
So we ingest your order, and then through whatever means, we somehow push that information back to you.
Correct.
Who in turn post it somehow for the customer.
Yes, it's an automatic push. It's done with an API. So when I worked with your team, they decided what information they wanted to push. Customer number is required, order number and PO are required. But they decided what information they were going to be pushing. So this is determined by you guys.
Yeah, so I guess what I'm trying to identify, Carmen, I think we started with a select segment of customers that we're pushing data back over to Sage for. If we start inputting the Sage number in our database, and then we push back that Sage number along with their customer number, your system will automatically pick it up and tie the two together, is what you're saying.
Yes, but
okay.
the distributor has to put in their account number with you guys in order to access it. If they don't put this in, then basically they're not giving permission to receive the order status. So it won't show.
Okay.
And that's where the marketing pieces that I'll send over to Jennifer will come into play, because the one for order status literally shows the distributor how to go in and put in their account number.
So what percentage of your Sage members or users are providing that? I mean, is everybody participating in that, or is it limited?
You mean what percentage of suppliers are providing order status?
Well, that, but I mean, it sounds like if the customer doesn't initiate it by putting in our customer number, like you said, they're not giving us access. So,
well, we have a lot that are putting their numbers in that suppliers are not providing the information yet. Okay. So it's kind of like an unequal balance. Just as a note, I had a supplier earlier this year that I talked to, and they had probably, I want to say somewhere between a 15 and 20% increase on orders that actually went through Sage when they started providing inventory and order status.
Mark, I'm wondering if we can create a canned message and a reply for any order coming through Sage that we respond to the customer. Their order's been received. Here's their order number and their account number. Please update their Sage account and list that account number.
You mean for orders that we ingest automatically, or that we're manually entering?
That we're manually entering, right? If we reply to them and ask them to update their customer number with us.
Yeah, no, we could try that.
That should help to increase some engagement.
Yes, and we make announcements as well when suppliers have completed their integration. In any newsletters and things like that that go out to the distributors, we also make an announcement to let them know, hey, this is a new supplier that's integrated, but you know, whether they read it or not is beyond my control. So I can't. Okay. I wish I could.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. Do you know when the announcement went out for ADG in your newsletter, or has it not gone out yet?
I think it has gone out. I'll have to go back and look.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember seeing something, but I can't remember. Honestly, I can't remember what it was that I saw. But I'll go back and see if I can find out when that was and send that over to you guys so you can see it.
Yeah, that would be great, because we would also like to put some copy on our website as well. Okay. letting them know, some type of banner or something. So if you can get me that media kit, that would be great.
Yeah, because we have different things like that you can use for social media. You can put it in your email signatures. You can do lots of, our marketing department did a really good job on it.
Okay. Yeah. Like I mentioned, somebody reached out to me last week about social media, and I'm like, do you guys have anything that you can share with me to post? And she's like, no, I'm just posting something simple on our page. I'm like, okay. So, so this is good to know. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Yeah, so you guys are doing inventory, order status, and product data. And
media, right? Images too.
Yeah. Well, we consider that part of product data.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. We don't have two separate, because I think Promo Standards has two separate deals for that.
Into one for you, right?
Yes. The same thing with our order status, because I think Promo Standards has order status and then they have shipping. Ours is all one.
Okay.
This particular product that I popped open, here's how the inventory looks to the customer. So this number that they see here is a total inventory of all colors.
Ooh.
If they click on this little logo here, it breaks it out by color.
So when a new customer or a new Sage user comes on, how does that communicated or trained to them so that they understand that that's actually a combined number?
We haven't had an issue with it. Most of them know it's a combined number if you have something that comes in several colors. But I know when our distributor advisors talk to them, they show them that this is one thing that they are very specific about when they show the new customers, because it's very informative for the distributor. It's very helpful, but it's also a big wow factor to show that suppliers are doing inventory. They can also filter their search based on inventory as well. And it always shows what the last update date is so that they know how current. If it hasn't been updated within 7 days, it no longer shows in Sage. Because we figured no matter what product is, if it's been 7 days since it was updated, it's probably not accurate.
But what no longer shows though?
The inventory, the total inventory.
The product itself will still show though, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
All right.
Just the inventory goes inactive.
So are there any like reports that get kicked out saying that this inventory status hasn't been updated to Josh's team or no?
I literally do it manually.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I set tickets to check inventory and order status for every supplier that's pushing it once a month. I check it once a month. They're working on some automatic tickets to where if it stops pushing within, like on the 8th or the 7th day, it'll set me a ticket that says this hasn't been updated yet. And then I reach out, but right now it's kind of a manual process for me. Because I love you guys so much. Because it helps your visibility on your products. And, because that's part of the best match. And I want to make sure that you guys don't drop way down in the search results and not realize that that's what happened.
Right. Okay.
Because things happen. A lot of times if you do updates on your ERP system on the back end, sometimes it'll break the connection and all you guys have to do is like a restart. So I try to, like I said, I set it up for me to monitor it like once a month for every single supplier that does inventory and order status.
Okay. There's no way on the supplier side with what we typically see that we can see the inventory numbers coming in, right?
Sort of.
Yeah, because I was in there today poking around on my side and I'm not sure where I could really see this.
You can see it when you download the spreadsheet, and I'll show you that here in a second.
Yeah, I know how to download. You can also
see it.
Okay.
Right here, it shows inventory. It just shows your total number. It doesn't break it out by color.
That's what I was wondering.
It does show what the last update is. We're in the middle of updating the Sage Supplier Center to make it a web version. And that's one of the requests that I have made is that they add it to where it'll show the breakout of the inventory to make it a little bit easier for you guys. Now on the spreadsheet, it shows the breakout. I don't know if you noticed that.
I downloaded it today and I did not notice that, but I can go back and take a peek.
Yeah. It's weird how it does it, but it does show the breakout.
I never even thought to look because it wasn't breaking it up here. So I would have never thought.
I know
that way. That's a little different, but okay.
It is kind of different. but let me pull it. I'm pulling it up here for you.
Yeah, not sure what updates you're making on the supplier side, but it would be really great from a marketing standpoint to be able to see what the distributor is seeing for our product. So kind of everything together with the image and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, you know, bits and pieces for us. So it'd be nice to kind of see, you know, is there certain things that we'd want to tweak?
Unfortunately, that's not going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah. I've already seen a layout of it.
Okay.
Now I've seen part of a layout. Now I don't know if they're going to lay it out, you know, because right now in the supplier center, you have the different tabs that have the data on it. I'm not sure if they're going to change that view to where it would seem like they could just change the view to where it looks just like the layout for the distributor, and you guys can go make the changes, but I'm not sure if that part is going to be changed. Okay. At least it probably won't be on the first release. Because I think what they're trying to do is just get rid of this software altogether. And so the first release will probably be the basics on what the supplier center currently does. And then they'll start adding in, because I've made a ton of requests for lots of different things to help make it better for you guys. But yeah, right here, you'll see it shows a breakout of the colors.
All right.
Yeah. Here we go. Burgundy,
well, that's good to
gray.
know. If I need, so that's good to know. I can just run a report if I need to.
Yes.
All the way at the end, right?
Yes. This great, big, huge, massive spreadsheet. Yeah.
All right. No worries. At least it's there.
I know. So, Carmen, when I do training on this, everybody is like, really? It's that big? Yes.
I had a quick question. Is there a way that we can receive a list of all of the distributors that have sent us orders, that have engaged with us, and their stage number, so we can update our side of the business with their stage number, so we can identify who we should start sending data back on?
The only thing that's available is you can download what we call the requesters. So anyone that has requested information, there's a way to download to find out who has. That's part of the API as well. Let's go in here. Yeah, the order status requesters. So anyone that's gone in and put in their account number, but it doesn't match up with their sage number. It just pulls your account number.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of a manual process, but you do have access to our distributor database. So you can look somebody up and it'll tell you what their sage number is.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys were aware of that.
Yes, I know you can search for distributors that way and see their stage number.
Yeah.
And you can actually search by state, like if you go in there.
Actually, no, you can only search by company name, contact name, phone number, sage number, PPA, and PPPC. Yeah.
Okay. So can you go back to the, earlier you showed, basically the order entry screen that a distributor would use when they create an order?
Oh, I have it open already for me.
Okay, yeah. So one of the challenges that we encounter right now, and it's especially with Sage orders, we're manually entering those currently mainly, but we run into a lot of Sage generated purchase orders where the customer is they're not completing all the fields. So an example might be they're not giving us the imprint color, or if it's a pen, they're not selecting the writing ink color, or sometimes the product color, or the third-party billing number. It's always just fundamental purchase order information. And so I guess my question, part of it is there a way that as a supplier we can stipulate required fields, or somehow try to address that problem? Because we do a high percentage of call outs on Sage orders right now.
Gotcha. Let me go in and look. I'm going to pull up one of your pins. So do all of your, like this one right here, black ink, blue ink, and then you have personalization. At this time, this information does not even show up when they create the purchase order. They have to manually enter it in.
Okay.
I'm not sure why your ink is listed twice here.
Huh.
I know that we are going to be totally redoing our purchase orders to make it easier for you guys so that it's easier to consume that information without having to do all those callbacks to the customers. I'm certainly going to send a note over to our development team that you brought that up and that you mentioned it, because I've been mentioning it for a couple of years now, saying, why is this information not on there? Because like if I do an order for this product, create a new one. You can see that none of those additional charges are on here. They have to literally manually enter it in.
Well, yeah, and that, you know, and part of it, I mean, and like I was saying, you know, it's just common fundamental type things.
Right.
There isn't I can't say that there's a specific pattern to it. It can be ink color, it can be third-party charges, it can be setup charges, you know, you name it, and it's a potential gap when we process those orders.
Right. The same thing with the setup charges. If there's a setup charge list, if they don't check this box, it's not going to add it to the purchase order.
Yeah.
And we do lots of training on how to do purchase orders. They get so busy, they just don't do it. But I know that they said they're going to redo the purchase orders and something else that they're going to be updating to make it easier for you as a supplier to consume that data. That's a 2023 project, I believe.
So Mark, I did confirm with IT, right now we have a select number of customers that we are sending data for. So as we get those SAGE numbers on the purchase orders, we will definitely want to work with those distributors to add us at our account number so we can start feeding that back. And then we'll have to check with Josh on whether he needs a list of those customers or how he's going to pull that data.
Right, but I mean this gets us into a whole other set of talking points. You know, for example, price groups. So depending on who that select group is, we probably have some customers, for example, who are on end quantity pricing, or who might have co-ops with us, or
well, they can change the price on the purchase orders when they send them over. So, like if you have the halos or the staples, or you know. Yeah. Promo AQP and all of that, they usually have the pricing altered in their SAGE tools so that it, like if it's in quantity pricing, it's going to automatically put in the in quantity pricing in there for them.
The customer controls that, or
the distributor?
The distributor does.
Yeah. Because we work with those groups. I mean, we've done a lot of customizing for Staples and some of those other groups so that they can automatically, so they can come in here and like pricing, let's say I'm in EQP.
Yeah.
And when I go back and look at the product, it says net EQP. And so it takes care, and you can see here their net cost is set for the EQP. So they can alter the pricing. I better take that out, or if I go to look at it, I'm like, why is that doing that?
So do you have an idea what the participation level is with customers who do set up their price groups or their vendor pricing?
We have a lot. We have a tremendous amount of participation, because when you look at how many Halo accounts we have, you know, they have tons, and how many Staples accounts that we have, because Staples actually consumes our product data into their own back end. So when you look at how many, you know, under Halo, how many accounts they have and how many users, it's a lot. And then I think we have quite a few of the promo EQP as well. Because we have 38 of the top 40 distributorships that actually use Sage.
I would think.
You mentioned promo EQP, but you know, how about I assume similar, you'd be in a similar setup with some of the buying groups like AIM.
Yes.
And some of those.
Yes.
And I would think once we're set up, we should be sending their pricing over based on their price list in our system, right? So we feed you that data for each customer once they're set up. No, whoever's in charge of their account is the one that goes in and puts whatever their price adjustments are going to be. You guys don't have to do anything. It's all up to the buying groups.
So in the case of AIM, because they're not centralized, right? You've got a million little offices all over the place. So each individual member of AIM is going to be responsible for updating their pricing?
No, AIM has a central person that takes care of it.
Okay.
And they work with our team to make sure it's set up correctly. But yeah, as a supplier, you guys don't really do anything. You just keep feeding in your regular pricing, and then it's set up based on those groups or those buying groups or co-ops. And that's where a lot of our customization has come into play for these groups. So we try to help customize the system to where it works for them.
So with groups like Promo EQP and AIM and some of the other buying groups, how do we leverage that relationship to make sure that they're in fact using Sage when they're ordering from us? I mean, obviously the integration is going to help with that, but what else can we do to leverage that? Because like in the case of AIM, we get a lot of calls and a lot of inquiries. Are we on end quantity? We're an AIM customer, or we're not, we're an AIM member. What does that mean? What do we get from you? It's kind of like a disconnect as to what their membership benefits are with us. And so it seems like this would be a great opportunity for everybody, but how do we get that message across to them? Because it doesn't seem to be coming from the AIM you know, headquarters or centralized group, as it were.
Yeah, that happens with all the groups, honestly. It's like the information doesn't trickle down to whoever it needs to go down to. I mean, I think once Jennifer kind of takes a look at the marketing piece that I'm going to send over to her, you guys might be able to utilize that. It's going to kind of, unfortunately, it's going to kind of come down to how much you guys are marketing it to those people. You know, I mean, we market as much as we can on our side. Now, again, whether they read it or not is a totally different issue. But I mean, you could probably take some of these marketing pieces and just direct it to AIM and say, hey, AIM distributors, are you aware you can now check your you know, status in Sage, and just kind of filter that information to them.
Okay.
Wow, you got a lot of these in stock.
Oh yeah. This is our number one product there that we keep in stock. Carmen, were you able to find that media kit or not?
No, because I was talking, so I didn't.
That's okay. I was curious if we, you know, I'd love for all of us to.
Yeah, some days it's easier for me to multitask than others.
No worries. I'd love for everybody to see it. So
yeah.
So Carmen, I just want Oh, I'm sorry. I just
No,
had
go
a
ahead.
question. I just wanted to make sure that I understand. So feeding the pricing in based on the client is not an option.
Correct.
Is that on your roadmap?
Not at this time.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we have the back end where they can change their price, you know, change how their pricing's done.
Can you take us back to that screen so just we can see what some of the different
Sure.
pricing scenarios are? So catalog plus. So it's all very formulaic though. Okay.
Yes.
I can just see where that would be beneficial if Sage decided to move in that direction.
Right.
Because I can tell you that, you know, people move in and out of statuses. Oh.
Yeah.
And they won't always update their back end. Oh.
Yeah. I get some of those calls that I'll get a supplier that calls me and says, well, we don't have anything set up with them anymore. And I was like, okay, have to go let them know. But I mean, we have a team that just works with these groups. That's all they do is work with the groups.
Yeah, no, I understand that. But, you know, client to client, we also have co-ops and, you know, different price categories based on the customer's spend with us. So, yeah.
Right. I'm still searching. I don't know what I did with my link.
Well, I mean, if you can't find it, if you could just send it over when you have a chance, and I can just regroup with the team and see what we want to do. And I'm not sure if there are certain pieces on that media kit that you see other suppliers utilizing more than others. What will give us kind of the most, you know, exposure? That's really what we want to do. So.
Yeah, oh, here we go. I found it. Okay, so let me.
It always happens when you're under pressure to find something.
I know, right? And we're all watching, you know, it's like, yeah.
Well, I know I couldn't find it when I searched on our website. I'm like, what is it listed under? So when you download the toolkit, it has the logos that you can use to like put on your marketing pieces. We have web banners.
Okay.
That you can utilize. We got a lot of those. Let me close that one for a second. We have a flyer. This is what I was talking about with regards to the order status. The flyer actually shows them how to go in and access that information, you know, how to put their account number in. And then we have social media images.
Okay, good.
And there's quite a few of those. So, you know, I was like, this came out and I wasn't even expecting it. And I was like, yay, what happened?
No, this is awesome.
I know. My boss and I both were like, wait, where'd that come from? Because we've been asking for it for a while. So they just it kind of popped up on us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and send this over to you.
Yeah, that would be great. If you could also include Mark and a few other team members, is there something that we could possibly put into like an email format or like even some type of, I mean, we don't want to clutter up our signature, but you know, points that you guys use that might make the most sense.
And I think, Carmen, if you just include everybody on this call, that would be helpful.
Yeah, yep. I can do that.
Perfect.
Yeah, because like I said, it's really good way to kind of let people know, you know, even if when you're shipping out, if you have that flyer done that goes to the, you know, just put it in there that goes to the distributor that says, hey, just to let you know, we're now, and those flyers are set up to where you could put your own logos and all of that kind of stuff on it.
That's good. That's good. I can just send it over to my creative team quick and they can just put it in our template and then we can get that out.
Exactly. Yeah, wonderful. They set it up so that it's easy for you guys to utilize it.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, they went really fancy with me here, so. Before I just had 2 flyers that I would send out to suppliers. Here's your flyer to send out about this.
Yeah, no, this is good. Okay. All right. Team, do you guys have any other questions or?
Yeah, I think mine were answered.
No.
Mark?
No, not for now.
Well, let me know if you guys do have any questions. If there's, you know, anyone else that, you know, I need to do this kind of a meeting with, just let me know. And we can get that set up. But I will make sure that I get that link sent over to you for the marketing and kind of go from there. Are you using the ratings logo in your email signatures?
No, not.
No, we are not.
Okay. That's a good way to encourage people to rate you guys. Because right now you're at a 43 ratings with a B.
43 ratings with a B. I
but
know that it was,
you have some that are about to fall off. So anything that's 2020 falls off this year.
okay.
So these 2 specifically will fall off in December.
Okay. Yeah, I was hoping that once we integrated, I was told that we should be getting to that A with no problem. So
yeah, so let me just
case.
double check your ratings here and see how many you've got. Okay, so yeah, all these down here will be falling off. And you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 Fs in that batch.
And then if you go up to kind of some of the latest.
Yeah.
So a question on this, Carmen. We have a customer advocate role that reaches out to try and salvage the relationship on these. And can a distributor go back and change their rating?
Yes, ma'am, they certainly can.
Okay.
Yeah, that they can do. And I have seen that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, ratings are subjective. And if somebody's having a bad day, you know, they may give you a bad rating just because you didn't give them the answer that they wanted to hear, regardless if, you know, your answer was the logical one or not. But yes, they can go back and change. And you guys are responding, which is great. That's perfect.
Yeah, we made sure that we incorporated that. I think beginning of this year, right, Heather, or close to it.
Yes, yeah, Tammy's been doing a nice job with that.
Yes, she has.
Yeah. I always tell, it's funny because I say that even if you have a positive rating or a positive response to a negative rating, a lot of times that can kind of diffuse the situation, and the distributor may go back, yeah, you know, they really did kind of help, and change that rating too. Plus it makes you look more professional. And it shows that you're paying attention, that you're looking to see what's going on, what's being said, what's happening.
Okay.
So sorry, Carmen, I'm going to ask this in a different way. I just really need to wrap my mind around how we're going to know who to send order detail back for. Because your IT department has to download the requesters. If they're not going to push every order through Sage, which a lot of suppliers do, they have to download the requesters on a frequent basis. Okay, and do they receive a notification when a request comes through, or do they have to go out and pull that?
They literally have to go out and pull it.
Okay, so Jen, I think we need to come up with a standard practice for that.
I mean, so even if it's just once a month. Yeah. Or something to that effect.
Yeah, I think, can anybody pull it, or does it have to be IT? Can Jen pull it as a user? Can I pull it as a user?
Let's see here. I think I logged into your.
It sort of feels like we need to be pulling it either weekly or bi-weekly.
Yeah,
that's what I would say
a month.
Mark,
yeah, I would say frequently. A month is too late for us. Yeah. Oh.
I always try to do this and I end up not doing it right. So let me see if I can do it. Let me see here. So I need to change your account number, your Sage number. Yeah, they're going to have to do it because they have to use the correct posting.
So there's a conversion involved.
Oh, wait, let me try this. Hold on a second. Maybe that's what I did wrong. Yeah, I need to. If they set it up, they can probably set it up for you with the correct posting and everything. And all you have to do is just paste it in here. But then you're going to have to copy and paste that list of all of those. So it might be better for them to download it and download it like into a spreadsheet for you.
But we can see that there are requests out there. And
yes,
then we can reach out to our IT.
Yeah. If they set it up to where you can download it, yes.
Does it show how many requests are out there though?
It's not because I don't have the right post and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure, like in the first screen that you were in prior to here. I think that there were tabs that you clicked on.
Yeah, no, it didn't. I just clicked into the yeah, I just clicked in here. It's not going to show me. It just shows how many downloads were done this month. That's
what
the
I
other
was
thing.
Looking at. Okay.
Yeah, that's the other thing. The analytics right here can show you what's been downloaded, what's been updated.
Oh, okay.
Order status, order requesters. It looks like he downloaded them on the 18th. Let me see if it'll show. Hold on. Let me see what's he's got.
Well, if he's downloading them, what is he doing with them then, I wonder?
File cannot be open in. Okay, let me close this one, see if it's. Yeah, I don't know. This request only contained one record, so I'm not sure what he's doing.
Okay.
But yeah, so that was done on the 18th.
Okay. Jen, we should probably find out what Josh's cadence of extracting this is and getting them updated, because monthly is way too infrequent for us.
Yeah,
especially as we're pushing this.
Yeah, what I'm going to do is ask him for a report once a week on Monday. Does that work?
Mark, do you think that will be a good start?
Yeah, well, let's start there.
Okay, so we'll start there once a week on Mondays. And everybody on this team, right? Should
get that report. That would be great.
Okay. All right, I'll send him the email. I'll CC all you guys, okay?
Thank you.
No problem. I'll do that right after this.
This was helpful, Carmen. Thank you.
Yes, you're very welcome. Yeah, this is something new that we added on the old integration tools that we had. You are not able to see your analytics. So this is where you can also make sure like your inventory is still updating. You know, your product data, that's the download. So he's downloading product data. If your product updates are happening, see, like you can see here, that was what, Saturday, nothing, you know, he shouldn't be working on Saturday.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. We'll tell him you said that.
Orders, you know, order status information, requesters. So you can kind of see what activity is going on. Like I said before, we didn't have this. So you know, this is where you
Okay.
can just go in and check
This is where under the Sage?
It's under sagemember.com, and then
Okay.
under Sage Connect.
Yeah.
And then there's the tab for the analytics.
Analytics. Okay, that'll be good to see.
Yeah.
All right. So the if you go down a little bit, there was one that you said for product details.
Oh,
Downloads.
Product data download. Now, is that the bulk download file?
Yeah, he's downloading all the information, all the product data from Sage.
Okay, so would that be, because I did that twice already today. So I wonder.
It's not the spreadsheet. He's downloaded
okay.
it. Yeah, it's downloading in code.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure that I knew that. Okay.
Yeah.
So then just above that, the inventory one is basically straight line. So that means it's getting updated each day. And then we've got that odd spike on the 12th. Is that right?
Yeah, we had a hiccup that we were trying to figure out with some of our items that we're not pulling through.
Okay.
Involved on that we were trying to get situated. So I think Josh had that fixed, and that was that spike that you saw.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we also made at that time frame the adjustments with the naming conventions, because some of the products would say the actual bill of material number and not the color. And that was all around that time frame.
I know it kind of looks funny.
Yeah, it does. You can see though that something was done then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. As we get going, Carmen, we probably will have more questions.
No worries.
If we do end up having a list and want to chat again, I'll set up some more time with all of us. Okay.
Sounds perfect. Just to give you a little heads up, I'm actually going to be out for medical leave starting on the 2nd of November.
Okay.
But my coworkers, if I'm having back surgery. So,
oh boy.
I know I've been putting it off for too long. So my coworkers that'll be handling everything, Michelle, it's Affek, AFFEK. She will, if she doesn't know the answer, she'll know exactly where to go to get it. So if I'm not available, but I told her, I was like, you can text me anytime except for while I'm still in the hospital.
Right.
Because I'm sure I'll be on drugs. It might not be good.
Well, good luck.
Yes, good luck. And if she has does she have our contact information?
Yes,
or are you gonna kind of do some type of introduction so that way we can make sure that we're good? I want to make sure Josh feels comfortable.
Yeah, I'm actually putting together a list for them and some other departments so that they know who's handling what and what is actively being worked on right now.
Gotcha.
So, and I did that when I was out a couple of weeks ago too. So, yeah, I know I'm getting all my surgeries at the end of the year this year, I think.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. And I believe you were recording this, so we'll be able to look back through this if we need to.
Yeah, once it compresses, I usually upload it and make it like a YouTube link, and I'll send that over to you guys.
That's perfect. And then you're going to send us that media kit if you haven't already, so that we can take a look at that and see how we want to integrate some of that information. And then team, I'll get with Josh and make sure that he gets us some type of report for the downloaded requesters once a week.
All right, thanks, Jen.
Perfect.
And just really quick before we wrap up, Kim, did you have any questions from a training aspect?
I do not. I probably will after I go through the recording in a little more detail and start to play with it a little bit in the system. But at this point, I do not.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you need anything else from us, Kim, to help with that process, just let me know.
Will do. Absolutely.
Well, thank you for your time, Carmen.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you.
You guys are so welcome. You have a good rest of the week.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Bye.
Have a good night. Bye.